All right, you know the feeling. You've seen it. You walk into the supermarket, it's maybe early September, and bam, right there, next to the back to school stuff, is a giant display of Christmas chocolates. It feels like a mystery that's hiding in plain sight, right? This phantom holiday season that just totally ignores the calendar. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and solve it. And this right here, this is our first clue. A Reddit user just puts it perfectly. It's that feeling we all get, that little jolt of, wait, what? When you see Halloween candy in August or Valentine's hearts in January. You are not imagining things. So, what is really going on?
And that really gets us to the heart of the investigation. Why does the calendar in our stores feel so completely out of sync with the one hanging on our walls? Well, there's a name for it. It's called seasonal creep. And believe me, it is not happening by accident.
To really get this, you have to realize it's not just about Christmas. No. We're dealing with a pattern that goes on all year long. It's a predictable cycle of these phantom seasons that retailers have mapped out with, honestly, incredible precision. I mean, just look at this timeline. It really shows you the blur, doesn't it? As soon as one holiday's clearance items get swept away, the stuff for the next one is already rolling out. We see Valentine's gear basically the moment New Year's is over. Now we've got Summerween pushing spooky season right into July. By September, Christmas is just in full swing, and before you've even thought about packing away the tinsel, the first Easter eggs are already showing up. It's a constant, never-ending cycle. So what's the motive? What's behind all of this calendar chaos? Well, the secret is understanding that retailers and us, the shoppers, we are living on two totally different timelines. To them, our calendar, it's almost beside the point. And this just lays out that disconnect perfectly. As shoppers, we think short term. Days, maybe a couple weeks out, right? The holiday itself is our finish line. But for a retailer, the holiday is just the starting gun for the sales season. Their planning is done months, sometimes even more than a year in advance. Like one retail insider said, by the time Christmas stuff is on the floor, they're already getting shipments for Valentine's. And here is the hard proof that their strategy isn't just a wild guess. It's actually working. A McKinsey study found that a full 50%, half, of all holiday shoppers started buying gifts in October or even earlier. So, you see, retailers aren't just creating this creep out of thin air, they're also responding to a very real and very early demand. But to really, truly get why this happens, we have to go even deeper. Let's follow the incredible journey of just a single holiday product, long before it ever gets a chance to even see a store shelf. You know, a seasonal item doesn't just appear. It all starts with forecasting demand, sometimes years out. Then you've got to get the raw materials, manufacture it on a massive global scale, and then it has to take this long, complicated journey across oceans and continents. So think about it. For that Christmas ornament to be sitting on a shelf in September, its whole journey probably had to start way back in the middle of winter of the year before. That's the kind of scale we're talking about here. Okay, but the supply chain, that's only half the story. The other half is what's going on inside our own heads. Because beyond all the logistics, this early exposure has a really big psychological impact on us. It's a carefully designed strategy meant to actually shape our habits. Which kind of begs the question, right? Is all this seasonal creep just smart business? Or is it something more, like a subtle spell being cast over how we spend our money? Well, if you ask marketing experts, the answer is kind of both. See, showing us holiday themes early does a few really important things. For one, it builds anticipation. It also makes it seem totally normal to spread out our spending. But most importantly, it triggers specific emotional responses. You know, that cozy feeling for winter or a sense of renewal for spring. This creates what the experts call temporal relevance, which is just a fancy way of saying it makes the product feel important and necessary right now. And it perfectly aligns the store's calendar with our own. So now we've got the why. It's a mix of logistics and psychology. But this leads us to the final part of our investigation, the great debate. Is this early holiday push a good thing, a bad thing, or is it just an inevitable part of how we shop now? So on one side, you have us, the shoppers. A lot of people report consumer fatigue and feel that seeing Halloween stuff in August can make a brand look, well, desperate. Some even feel like the whole point of the holidays has been destroyed by greed. But then you've got the retailer side of it. For them, putting stock out early helps manage the unbelievable pressures of a global supply chain, and it helps them avoid huge losses on stuff that has a really short selling window. And, like we saw, it makes sure the products are there for that 50% of people who are ready to buy early. So it turns out the phantom holiday isn't really a phantom at all. It's a super complex machine made of global logistics and some really clever psychology. What we see in the stores is just that moment where the retailer's calendar finally crashes into our own, which leaves us with one last question to think about. Has our calendar completely broken, or are we all just slowly learning how to read a brand new one?